Hi everyone, Intuitive Edge, welcome to my channel. It's time to look at our week ahead. Today is June 29th and we're looking ahead this week to see what is in store. So I wrote out some questions and we're going to get started. I did shuffle up the cards already, so I'll lay those out right now. Okay, so the first card out is the Six of Pentacles reversed. This is on the question of what's in the news, what's going to be dominating this week, and this card. I call this card the give and take card. Now, when it's reversed, to me, as I sat with this for a moment, I paused the video, and there's a sense of something being withheld or not given out. Somebody from either a person or an entity or an organization. I pulled a clarifying card on this just to get a little further information on what this sense was of something being withheld from someone. And I got this card. This is the Knight of Cups reversed. Now, this is a messenger reversed. A messenger about an offering or a negotiating going on, but it's reversed also, which tells me there's something stalled or something being withheld. Okay, and I wish I could get a clearer picture of that to give you, but that's all I'm getting is just this sense. So we'll leave that here and move on to the next segment. What should be done? What should we be focusing on? The sense I got when I was writing these questions out for this week ahead spread is that the focus was off. It felt like there was a distraction in terms of what people were focused on and what should be focused on, and that there was maybe a deliberate attempt to put the focus elsewhere so that something else is going on kind of feel. With that, I've got this card. This came in reverse. This is the Ace of Swords. This is about new beginnings. It's also about communication. And with that card being reversed and with the question of what should we be focusing on, this is about miscommunication. And I get this sense of a real battle over the airwaves for the truth, for what people are talking about, for what's coming out on social media, and what is basically, it's a battle for the hearts and minds of what people are focusing on. And the focus should be on miscommunication, misdirection. That was the sense I was getting when I was shuffling the cards too, is a sense of being misled, and a deliberate attempt to obfuscate the truth, and to actually silence people's voices online. So that there's a lot of energy around obfuscation and clouding what people are saying in an effort to suppress the truth. Okay. Behind the scenes, what's hidden that's going on? With this card, we've got Temperance reversed. Keeping things in balance and grace is that card. With this card being reversed, I get a sense of either imbalance or outnumbered. I'm getting a sense of like, when I pause the video for a second there, I get this sense of like David and Goliath. I'll show you this picture. But anyway, what came to me was this sense of coming up against or an enemy, for lack of a better term, but coming up and like looking at this big obstacle and feeling like you're outnumbered, you're overwhelmed, and how are you going to tackle this issue, this obstacle, this problem, this enemy, whatever. And it's like a sense of like feeling disempowered or disadvantaged like you're at a disadvantage for being able to overcome this that's in front of you. And that's what's hidden. That's interesting. I'm getting the sense of like an obstacle being larger than life, and it is trying to suppress and the little guy kind of. And so perhaps this obstacle coming up is maybe what's happening behind the scenes. Okay. I guess leads into the next question, because it is, what is the biggest obstacle this week? What is this obstacle? Now, a very interesting card here. I have the Three of Cups. It came in reversed. Three of Cups is the friendship card. Now you can guess, with it being reversed, it can be a strain on relationships, a strained friendships, perhaps people not getting along. That's what that obstacle coming in is. Okay. It's starting to kind of tie back into the other cards. That's when I know there's a flow going on with this. Okay. So what I'm sensing is there's something that is dividing people this week. Dividing friends, dividing family, keeping people at odds. This is that insurmountable. It's not really insurmountable, but that's the way it presents itself, as this insurmountable obstacle that is kind of filtering through discourse, what people are talking about and what's in the news, and it's like it's meandering its way through, and it is dividing and sectioning off and manipulating. It's an energy force. This energy is manifesting itself again in the area of communication. Okay, the next question is President Trump this week. What is the president focused on this week? And I've got the Three of Wands. This is the first upright card so far. He's looking out across, and I feel a sense of stability, groundedness on this side. And it's like you're looking across and you're seeing what's happening, but I feel like he's protected, but he's kind of, I feel like there's an oversight or a watching of what is taking place. And I feel like there's an awareness, a keen awareness about this thing, this energy that is seeking to refocus the narrative or take something away from someone. But I get a sense that President Trump is aware, keenly aware, but it's like watching from a distance. So not kind of seeing what's happening, seeing it play out. Almost like you're watching something to figure out or plan what the next step is. Okay, I should have titled this video this week all about focus. Okay, it's where people's attention is focused, what we're focused on, who we're focused at. Everything is about our focus this week. All right. The next card out is, what is the hope this week? And what do we need to focus on to give us hope? Now, interesting card, another upright, is the Ten of Pentacles. This is a card of family, stability, prosperity. It's security and finances. And that, I think, is going to balance out this other energy of distraction and disharmony and disunity of communications by people focusing instead on their families, their jobs, what their immediate security is, and focus on that, because there's going to be a lot of talking heads in the news this week, it feels like. And it's all meant to distract and divide. And it's almost got a life of its own, this energy that's coming up. Oh, that's really interesting. Sometimes, oh my goodness, okay. I'm gonna take a segue here. I'm gonna pause the video, I'll come back with a segue. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so people that have psychic abilities, a lot of people have abilities and they don't know they have abilities. They don't understand how those abilities impact their environment. There's different types of abilities. With this energy that I'm seeing kind of pulling up and disrupting, it could be a literal, people disrupting each other's, but with it, I've been sensing like an energetic. Now, when people have psychokinetic abilities, now this is a more rare type of ability that people have, and this is where you directly influence your environment around you. And some people can do this consciously. A lot of people don't realize that that's what they're doing. It's called PK, psychokinesis. Now, if you have a person who is a healthy individual, mentally, emotionally, and they're grounded, and their intent is not to hurt others, and they have this ability, they can oftentimes have things manifest for them, have things kind of go their way, things open up for them that, seem kind of effortless, when other people kind of have to be like, how did things just open up for you? How does that happen for you? Chances are that person has abilities and they're in a healthy state of mind. When people get agitated or angry or depressed or have a lot of trauma and they have abilities, those energies that they have to influence their environment around them can be used in a negative way. And sometimes if someone has enough frustration, energy, anger, all of that, and it gets pushed out into their environment, it can create an energetic life of its own. And that person's anger or that person's hate feeds that energetic. That energetic can get a life of its own as long as it's being fed. And those energetics that are negative require negative energy to continue to feed them, okay? All right, I hope you're with me here on this. So what I'm sensing, what I'm thinking is happening is with all of the frustrated anger that's out there right now, the division, the chaos, the violence, the disruption, the hate, the people that are just at each other's throats, on social media especially, it's creating an energetic, I think. And some people who have abilities and who are in that state are feeding this energetic. That's what I think this insurmountable thing is that's coming up behind the scenes. I think it's influenced by that in some way. That is why when I asked what is the hope this week to focus on, and we have this card, this is all about to distance yourself from that energetic and to not feed that energetic, is to just refocus on your own well-being, your own life, your own family, and to try to disconnect from all of the chaos that is just surrounding communication this week. And it's been going on. So I say this week because this is this week's video, but this has kind of been going on already. But the key is to disconnect, unplug. If it means unplugging the television, literally, and just turning on music for a week. I actually did that once as an experiment because I was having just a real struggle in some things. And I just turned everything off. Turned off the media, turned off everything. And all I did was listen to music. No news for a week. And that was hard for me because I like to kind of keep up on what's happening in current events. But I did that. I just, nothing but music for a week. And at the end of that week, I had sold a property that I had that I was having a hard time getting rid of. It was like, it went like that. Some other things just kind of magically happened for me, and it was like I didn't even have to try. It was like once I kind of just disconnected and let myself just be and focus on like joy, like music, just happy. Things just happened naturally for me. It was like nothing was a struggle anymore. It's like I unplugged from the struggle, and therefore I wasn't struggling. It was really kind of magical, really kind of a nice experiment. I should try that again, but I don't know. It's kind of hard, like I said, to stay away. And I know a lot of people feel that way. Well, I want to be connected. Well, yeah, it is. Try it sometime though. If you're struggling with something, try it sometime. Unplug, see what happens. Worked for me. Anyway, okay. So that's the hope, is to focus on things that are not connected to that negative energetic that is seeking to divide and disrupt. Okay. All right. What is being exposed or coming to light this week? We got another reverse. Got the 901s reverse. What the heck? This is a card of having to wait, bide one's time. And this is what's coming to light. You know, in a very real sense, I sense the obstacle itself, that barrier, that wall, that it feels like a culmination again, that's what's coming to light and being exposed, is the actual barriers. I want to go back for a second and finish up a point I was making earlier about the energetic and perhaps people maybe unknowingly feeding this energetic, okay, and it's starting to take on a life of its own. I just wanted to clarify, how many of the population has psychic abilities? I'm not sure the percentage or the number, but there's a lot of people who are in a state of depression, unrest, anger, hate, bitterness, all of those negative qualities right now. And as they're in that state, those that have abilities are feeding this thing. I really think that's what's going on, and that's why it's kind of gaining traction, and why it's feeling like it's becoming this monolithic thing, but if you think about all of the people out there that have abilities, even if it's 2% or 10%, even if it's a small percentage, there's enough of them out there that are able to feed this energetic even more. Now, everybody feeds it to some degree who participates in it. If you're participating in violence, you're feeding violence. However, it's magnified if you are a violent person and you have abilities. You're magnifying that even greater in your environment because of the abilities that you have to manipulate your environment. Okay. So I just wanted to say that everybody participates, is part of it, but it's magnified more with abilities if you have that. So that's why it's good to unplug, especially if you have abilities. Especially if you are a heightened sensitive, take a week off, take a break, listen to music, do what you love, do gardening, be out in the earth, be out in nature, go for a hike, go camping, whatever. Be out where you can diffuse that and recenter yourself, bring yourself back to focus on what matters to you. Part of the thing that frustrates people when they get ramped up like this with stuff in the news is that it fosters a sense of helplessness, because I can't control my environment. I can't control what's going on around me. I can't control what's happening in Washington, D.C. I can't control the rioters burning and looting businesses. I can't, and it makes people feel powerless, okay? So one way to get your power back is to detach from all of that, literally, and go immerse yourself in something that makes you feel empowered. Whether it's your hobbies, like I said, gardening, something grounding with the earth is great. So these are things that people can do to disconnect and not feed that monster that's being created. So the outcome for this week, I've got the Queen of Pentacles. She came in reversed. Again, that kind of brings out these negative qualities of this queen. So this I think goes back to needing to get grounded and centered and stay out of that fray that is trying to suck people in and make them fight. So now, underneath all of this is the Judgment card. This is a great card of focusing on what's really important and what really matters. This is like at the end of life, what is really the point and what's really going to be what matters most when all is said and done. So I think the focus should be on that this week, especially people that have abilities, but try to focus on yourself, your house, your job, yourself. And let everything else just be what it is for now and not feed it, okay? Didn't mean that turn into a lecture. That's just what's coming up this week. I think people are really feeling that energetic of anger and hostility and frustration and depression and all of that. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps some of you to maybe understand kind of the energies at play and how people can play into those, sometimes not even realizing it. So be well this week, be positive, be happy, be in gratitude. That's another way to diffuse negative energy, is to be thankful and grateful for what you have. Okay, I hope this finds you well. We'll catch you next time. This has been Intuitive Edge. Bye for now.